Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ask the Unicorn. I'm Ahura Z, and the name of the show is Ask the Unicorn, and this is my worthy sidekick, Nirakazi, who's like off of the screen.
Today is November the 9th, 2016, and it is the end of today's episode 106. It is the end.
She was going to say the end of the world.
Of the United States as we know it.
However, we shall survive. Okay. Now, everybody kind of got thrown off today about the results of the election, and I'm going to try not to get too much into that because it just, really ticked me off that happened. And I had to get over that. But I'm very disappointed. I need to say that in humanity at this time. And see how scruffy I am? Yeah. But I'm quite disappointed with people. I can't believe that many people actually voted for that guy. But hey, that's not here or there. Anyway, as I was saying, I answered questions of a metaphysical, spiritual, paranormal, and mystical nature. And if there's any questions that you have, I have the faculty of answering them. There are two types of questions, however, that I do not ask do not answer, and that is whether or not someone is going to die or whether or not someone is cheating on someone. If you have those types of questions and would like to deal with that, you should probably deal with the person that you're asking about. All right, beyond that, everything is fair game as long as we can learn from it and we can come to a positive solution. Now, before we get into that, I'd like to say hello and give a shout out to all of my independent film making colleagues that are out there in the New England area, specifically Maine. I am working diligently to finish Valkyr, and there are some other films that are being finished and being completed of New England filmmakers, and I hope that you all like them because we work very diligently to bring you good entertainment. Now, all of that being said, Valkyr should be done soon. I keep saying it's going to be done soon, but there's a mountain of editing that I have to do, and it's just me. So one day I'll have all of the money to have a big fancy team of people editing, but right now it's just me. And I do this. I do the film. I work on the film when I can. We've all worked very diligently on the film, and it's looking very, very good. But it takes time. It takes time, and I'm hoping to get it out before the end of the year. So all of that being said, I'm looking forward to Valkyr being a hit. Now, all of that, let's just move right into the show. The unicorn is in. I'm listening. Wait. The unicorn is in. I'm listening.
If I can get the mouse to work, I can slide over. Oh, come on now.
Excuse me. What do you got?
There we go. Sticky mouse. Okay. We have the mouse is...
Don't stop eating candy and putting your hands all over it. You're like...
Exactly. It's doing honey magic.
Let's get the Kung Fu Kitty.
Huh? That's what you're calling it, the Kung Fu Kitty? Yeah. These questions are from last week. They're sent in on last Wednesday from Ken. He says, I have social anxiety disorder and recently started to come off my meds and am experiencing fear and being watched. Is social anxiety disorder extrasensory, and how can it be controlled without meds?
It takes discipline. You have to be aware of your surroundings and everybody that's in your surroundings. Remember, the disorder that you're dealing with, that you are medicated for, will have little remnants. Okay, so you have to be aware of that and remember to tell yourself that. And it'll make you feel a lot better. But just be aware of everything that's going on in your environment, and you should be fine. Okay. Be aware of all of the people. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever been around horses, but horses kind of have the same thing. Like if a horse doesn't recognize something, it will spook itself. You know, it's like when we're out filming, one of the things that we had to be reminded of is that if we had an umbrella and the horse did not remember the umbrella being on that path, he'll spook. So I think that you have kind of that type of a reaction. So you might make yourself aware of every single thing that is around you. It will work out a lot better, and it takes practice. But once you get the hang of it, you'll be all right. Congratulations on trying to get yourself off your medication. Mm-hmm. Keep going. Hope that helps you.
He has another question. He said, I went to a cemetery this past Sunday and smelled decay at one plot. When I came home, I went for a nap and turned off all the electronics. When I woke up, rocking yourself to sleep?
I guess so.
When I woke up, my TV was on a snowy channel. I never used that input. Shortly after, I smelled the decay in my house. Could something have followed me back, or is it something else here with me?
What I need to ask you is, did you take something from that gravesite? If you did, then there's a pretty good chance that, you know, you also took that entity home with you. You know, also, another thing, did you lay on your bed in the same clothes that you were out and about in, that you were at the graveyard in? Because that's one of the things that I caution people about. That if you visit a place like that, you need to change clothes before you go into your bedroom. You know, otherwise you will bring some of that energy into your bedroom, and that's not a really cool place to have it. You know, so yeah, there's a possibility of something to follow you. You may have to just cleanse everything. Okay, and if you did take something from that grave site, please take it back. Okay, I hope that helps you out. What else we got?
Oh, he sent them a bunch of questions. He said he has another question. One more thing. My friends and I used the Ouija board as teenagers. We were very ignorant to this. Could this be causing a social anxiety disorder? Could something have come out and made my life very difficult?
Yes. I hope you still don't have that board or have access to that board.
I don't know. He says that
I can't warn you all enough against such things. You really need to steer clear of those things. They are evil. Okay? I don't care what anyone tells you. I don't care if someone who, you know, you really like says, well, you know, it depends on who's using it. No, no one should be using it. It is an evil tool, and it will hurt you. Okay, it could not, you know, if you do this, no, it will hurt you. Do you understand? It will hurt you. Okay. It will make your life havoc. It will cause things that you don't need. So steer clear of them. I don't care what anyone says. In fact, I rarely even watch a movie that they have a Ouija board in, because I think it's stupid for them to even, you know, do such a thing. You know, you never know what people are doing. You know, well, you know, we'll have this Ouija board scene, but you don't realize that that tool was actually introduced as being harmless, and that was the biggest travesty that there is, because it is anything except for harmless. It is very, very volatile. So yeah, it can cause all kinds of havoc in your life. Yeah, if you're feeling some things and you think that you made that connection, you're right. You know, if you have that board, destroy it, get it out of your house, get it away from you, never use it again. And never be caught with someone who is using it. Okay. You know, as a psychic policeman, I have to tell you much the same thing that a regular policeman would tell you, which is really, really funny. Because if I cleanse something off of you, I'm going to give you a set of rules. Those rules are, don't be caught in a place where other people are doing what it was that you did. Those rules are, don't do what you did. Again, those rules are, don't be hanging out with someone who is going to do something like that you were exonerated from doing. The very energy of it will trap you. It's a trap. Do you understand? It can't get at you directly, so it will try to do indirect things like work through your girlfriend, work through your boyfriend, work through one of those people that you hang out with, you know. Oh yeah, we were just getting ready to do a Ouija board. You want to come? And no, I'm leaving. Well, you don't have to participate. You can just sit there. No, I'm leaving is what you should say. You should just, no, I want no part of that thing. I want absolutely no part of that thing. And if you're going to use it, I want no part of you. You know, so we really need to protect ourselves more. And you'll see you'll benefit from it. Hope that helps you out. What else have we got? I'm on a roll. I've answered 3 questions.
There are like 4. This is his last one. He says, I have many questions, but this will be the last one for now. All the feeling I have had lately lead me back to the Bible, and I started to pray and ask for help.
Good.
I then found your channel on YouTube. Is this my prayer being answered or a fluke?
Well, there are no flukes in the universe. And if you feel that it's your prayer being answered, then who am I to question such a thing? You know, one of the things that I do teach is we never doubt the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is prayer. You know, we always make sure that we're acknowledging that prayer does work. It always works. It may not be to this grandiose thing that you're expecting, but it does work. So if you think that your prayer is being answered by having someone that can answer your question, yeah, it is being answered. Just remember, steer clear of those things. They're evil. Not the Bible. I mean, the Ouija boards. Okay, what else we got?
Bible. Shout outs to Tabari, Kalandra, and Michelle.
Hello, people. How are you? I'm sorry that there are people in the United States that are just...
Drank the Kool-Aid.
They totally drank the orange Kool-Aid. Right, what else you got?
We have a question from Justin Meserve.
Mm-hmm.
It says, hello, sir. My question has to do with the star tarot card I drew when meeting you last year. I have had quite the spiritual journey since then. I assumed I would win the lottery, but now I've been inspired to commit myself to a business right here on my family farm. Do you think the star card is guiding me? Will my efforts be successful? Am I developing in the right direction?
I think you are, as long as you remember what it is that you already have and try not to go outside of the light to pursue something else. You have to stay on point and stay diligent with what it is that you're doing. And we know that the star card represents a blessing and the illumination of your goals. So if you can see your goals clearly because of the illumination of the universe, then by all means, do what it is that you're supposed to do. I will tell you this, however. The star illuminates those things that are good, and that also illuminates those things that are bad. So if you see something, don't assume it is good just because you saw it. Okay? It could also be a bad thing because you need to cleanse yourself out. But I think that, yeah, your endeavor should be successful. I think also that the star card represents guys that are backing you. You know, spiritual guys that you may or may not be able to see, but they're backing you, and you'll know when you're not on the right track because you'll feel that they're not backing you. So that's something to look for, and I hope that helps you.
It's interesting because he continues on to sit and says that I was all since meeting you, I was developing. I've been developing spiritual exercises seriously. I've stayed committed every single day of the year. I only got lazy thinking the star card would grant me a windfall. Now my development has motivated me to this business idea. But the resource commitment is large and it may break me financially. Any advice you could give me would be helpful. Your friend, Justin.
Well, make sure that you're taking care of the things that you're supposed to take care of. Don't dedicate all of your money to any one project. Okay. You can dedicate most of your money to one project as long as you're taking care of the things that you're supposed to. And I think you're on the right track. Just remember, don't go biased. A lot of people will get to the point that you are, and all of a sudden they'll start deeming something worthy or unworthy, or something that's bad or something is good. You need to stay out of those battles and just keep moving forward. And I think that you'll be fine. What else we got?
Ken75 has a question.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's see, they're saying the awakening that supposedly happened when the comet went by in 2013 and 2014, is the awakening still happening? Also, is there any truth to the planet Nibiru coming and causing chaos?
There is truth to that, and yes, some people are still waking up. But even though they're waking up, some of them are making kind of lousy choices, and I can't force anyone to make the right decision, but what I can do is show them their options. People are just making bad decisions. And we can't be every place. I'd like to be able to be every place so that I can catch people. But yeah, that awakening is still happening. Remember, that cosmic event is still going on. Good question. And there's some validity to Nibiru. Nibiru is a real thing. Regardless of what the naysayers may say, it is actually for real.
Eva actually asks, there's a planet called Nibiru, and apparently Nibiru is influencing the magnetic field of the Earth and weather and the position of Earth. Have you heard of it, and what are your thoughts?
Yes, I've heard of it. I heard of it. I knew that it was coming, 25 years ago, and would tell my students forever, listen, there's another planet that's coming, and I don't know what it's called, but there's another planet that is coming. It only comes into our orbit every so often, and I believe that the last time it came was a cataclysmic event. So I'm looking at a possible cataclysmic event this time. But yeah, I've heard of Nibiru and have long studied Nibiru. What else we got? I just feel like someone's snoring right up under me.
Because Ling is snoring right up under you. Kuanta asks if you have any new messages from the Great Mother.
At the moment, no. That you just have to cope with things. Try to get settled. Try to protect yourself. Try to provide for yourself. Okay. It'll all be fine.
And Eva says, nice to see you, Ahura, Kazi. Hello, Sonari. Rebecca says hi.
Hi, Rebecca.
Natalia is on and says, heart sign.
Hello.
Heart sign. Should I do it like this? It's my heart. Oh, you crushed the heart that Natalia sent you.
It's like this.
I have no heart, so I don't know how to do it. Haha, joke. I made a joke. I made a joke.
That wasn't a joke. That was the truth.
You did not laugh.
You have no heart.
Exactly. Only to certain things.
Oh, I'm going to be speaking at Anime
Wow.
Anime this Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why they put it at 10 o'clock in the morning. But I'm going to be speaking at Anime at 10 o'clock in the morning on video game therapy is what they call it. The effects of video games on phobias.
It starts at 10, so...
Yeah. I know, why would I be speaking at 10?
I think they're hoping that it'll draw more attention. More kids to come.
Today I'm going to talk to you about using video games to treat your phobias. And all sorts of other maladies, that you have.
Ling.
Jesus. Ling, stop it.
Ken75 asks, how many years can the energy from a Ouija board affect a person?
All your life. There's no statute of limitations on that. Remember, where they are, where those entities are, there's no time and space. So it can be anywhere from a week, it can be a day, it can be a year, it can be 20 years. That's the whole trick. It's a contract. You're working with a physical tool, they're working with a non-physical tool. They operate off of the law of exchange, which basically means that you get an answer from them and they want an answer from you. If you don't give them the proper answer, then they can choose something of yours to take or choose to come out, because that's normally what they're asking. You don't understand what it is that they're asking because you're on the other side of the board, where English is the only language that Ouija board here have come in. But what if there are thousands of different other languages that you have not encountered in those realms that you shouldn't be messing around with? Okay, what else have you got?
Marshall says, I once saw strings of white or clear light all through the sky. What was it I was looking at?
An unfinished sky. Whatever there was there for you was not yet finished. In other words, it was devoid of vibration. So you're going to have to wait to see how that folds out. How long ago did you have this dream?
I don't know if you guys can hear Ling. She's really loud.
She's totally snoring. Come here, baby. Come here.
She's like, but I'm sleeping. I don't want to get up. He's trying to pick her up by her paw, and she's just like, no.
Well, because, she sounds like some old guy snoring.
Her and her children.
Right. So, what else have we got?
Marshall says years ago.
Oh, years ago. Okay. Well, sometimes the energy from things can wear out over years. Okay. But I think that you're about to go through another growth spurt. That's just a private message for you. Okay. You're about to go through another growth spurt, and I think you should prepare for it. If you haven't felt it already, what it will do is it will make you seem rather aloof, but you're not being aloof to people. You don't need to be talked into believing that you're being aloof. It's just that a lot of the emotions that you dealt with will leave you. And it will feel a little empty at first, but you'll be all right.
He said, right on the night of successfully resisting an attack.
Okay. Tell me the attack. Tell me what happened.
It'll be a minute.
Yeah.
Carrie is on. She says hi.
Hi, Carrie.
Rebecca asks, I've asked about deja vu before, but I had a unique experience earlier today. I'm in the middle of a writing project. It's sci-fi fantasy.
Nice.
I was writing and suddenly felt intense deja vu wave come over me about something impossible I saw inside my mind's eye. What is deja vu called, or what even is it when you recall something that couldn't possibly happen?
An alternate dimensional reality. Another one of you that is living through a life that you happen to come close to in dimensional rapport. That's why I feel so strong within you.
Natalia says, peace, Baba, peace, Kazi the Great. Awesome.
Natalia, good to hear from you.
Natalia says, my ex said one reason she broke up with me was my lack of belief in Jesus. She's a minister. Am I being punished for not believing in God? I give thanks to the universe for my gifts. I acknowledge the source. I don't know how to feel, really.
Well, then, the fact that you acknowledge the source says that you believe in God, and that's not what God does. Punish you because you don't believe in that came from that other guy, that pretty much just wants to alienate you from God. Remember that God is all things. all things. You know, your belief really doesn't matter to God. It never has, although people have convinced themselves that belief is like being on the same football team as God, which God really doesn't need. You know, the fact that God thinks about you and believes in you is the issue. And hopefully he keeps believing in you. There's no bullying. There's no, you know, you have to believe in me or I'm going to smite you, you know, all of that kind of crap. Unfortunately, what happens is people use teachings and they use Bibles and they use all manner of things like billy clubs to force someone into believing what they believe, not necessarily the belief, but what they believe. And I might say to your ex that before she tries to remove the splinter from your eye, she should take the beam off of her own shoulder. To say that you don't want to be around someone because of their belief is political. That's not belief in God. That's not spiritual. You know, and that's you know, if she wants to carry on that way, you let her carry on that way. There's no skin off your nose, and no, you're not being punished. Okay, if anything, you're kind of being given a blessing to get away from someone that believes that they can talk to you that way. But just take my word for it. That's not how God works. Remember, God is a God of love, God of peace, God of strength and protection, tranquility, and joy and bounty. When you need to be admonished, you get admonished. But there's no admonishing here. You can't fault yourself because you don't believe the way that someone else does. There's all kinds of fanatics. I mean, that you have to calm down. You know, look at Kazi. She's like...
Nah. Fanatic what?
You know something? Let me tell you from my point of view. I know that God is. I don't have to believe in God. I know that God is. I know that the Holy Spirit is. I know that the Christ is one with God. And if you're speaking to the Christ, you're speaking to God. I happen to know that heaven is real. I happen to know these things, okay? So belief really doesn't interest me. And if belief doesn't interest me, you have to know that belief doesn't necessarily interest God. It's us that have written that we should get on our knees and grovel at the feet of the Almighty whose children we are supposed to be. If you got that kind of dad, you don't need anything. Your dad telling you to grovel for a piece of bread, that's ridiculous. You know, you have to really think about what you think God is. You said that you always give readings to the higher power or the dimensional power, then keep doing that. You know, there are all kinds of horror stories that you'll hear because you don't want to do things the way that someone else does them, or you don't want to sing the same hymns over and over and over and over and over and over again because they want to sing the same hymns. You know, so what you need to stop doing is stop penalizing yourself, and that's exactly what you're doing by feeling as though you've lost something or that you're being punished because you don't believe in someone or something. That's always, when you feel like you're being punished because you don't believe something, that is not of God. That's the other guy. Okay? That's the other guy. Here, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. And it's an old story. Okay, it's an old story that you probably heard when you were just a kid, but you know, because we all get adulted and decide that we're grown, we don't need to listen to childhood things. There's an old man that was walking down the street, and you know, it was a blustery day, and you know, windy, and the guy was holding on to his jacket, and the wind and the sun decided to make a wager. The wind says, I bet I can make that man take off his jacket or take his jacket off of him. And the sun says, no, you can't. So they made a wager. The wind blew and blew on this guy, and the harder that the wind blew, the more he clung to his jacket. He was just not letting go. So the wind finally said, okay, fine, you try it. So the sun just shone in all of his glory, and the guy took off his jacket. And the sun won the bet. You see, anytime you try to bully someone into doing something, or you feel like God is bullying you, you need to kind of take a step back and say, wait a second. Why would God stop the workings of the universe? The mechanism that is Earth to pick on your little black butt? You really have to ask yourself that. What kind of sense does that make? And remember, Jesus did not come for the believers. He did not come for those people that were pious. He did not come for those people that felt that they were already holy enough to judge someone because they didn't believe the same as them. Jesus came for all of those unworthies. All of us that were just trying to make it. All of us that didn't have all of the prayer materials, didn't have the white robes, didn't have the Bibles that were like this freaking thick, didn't have all of that stuff. But all we had was just the will to survive and live and be good people. And that we knew that God was around, but we didn't understand God. And we felt like God didn't understand us. But you're not being punished. If anything, you're being shown something. You're being shown that particular person, and the person is a great person. I think so. But like everyone else, we all have these things. And if someone says that they don't like you because you don't believe like they do, then perhaps it's time to let them go. Not just in your body, but in your mind and your energy. And never let a person make you feel as if you are inadequate again. Heaven is not exclusive, and I don't care what anyone says. Jesus is not exclusive. You hear people talking about they have their, personal relationship with God. With Jesus, my personal relationship with Jesus happened many, many years ago. But I don't really talk about my personal relationship with Jesus because it wouldn't do you any good. It wouldn't do anybody any good. What I do is I act it. So I think that person, even if they weren't doing it on purpose, was following a program where, you dehumanize people that don't believe what you believe or don't see what you see. I'm sorry you're going through this, but the fact is you're probably better off. And you really need to see that. So I hope that helps you out. It was funny one time I was talking to someone on Skype and Lang was snoring, and the person, she snoring. Finally, the person said, Z. I'm like, what?
They thought you were passing gas?
They thought I was passing gas. Yeah. I said, no, that's my dog. My dog is snoring.
Awesome.
Okay, what else have we got?
Marshall responded. He said, I pushed energy through my arms by the power of the Holy Father, etc. It flung the thing away from me, and it was if something was stunned or knocked out. I was afraid and left the house and then had the light streams.
Okay, yeah, the lights were there to sit there to protect you. The house, just wasn't a good place for you to be. Just wasn't a good place at all for you to be. A good fight, though. That's good. by winning that battle, you probably got the energy from it. So all I do is to make your force field, your energy field indestructible if you can. Oh wait, what was his original question?
His original question was that he once saw strings of white or clear light all throughout the sky. What was he looking at?
It could have been prana, the energy that's behind the energy of the air that you can breathe. And then again, it could have been a bunch of elementals. They take care of things like that, like the air, to make sure that you can breathe it. So this sounds like the ability to see things with your eyes is relatively new. So it sounds like. And if it is, the more you practice seeing, the better. And if it's not relatively new, you can actually speak to yourself to find out what some of these things are. And the information will come right with them. You know, that's the cool thing about our particular solar system, is that it contains all of this information. All of this information that is readily available if you know how to tap into it. Okay, what else have you got?
Natalia says, let's talk about how good that baby's sleeping right now. Yes. She's so lucky. She snores and anytime she's asleep.
I think she likes to hear me talk, because when I'm teaching, whenever I'm talking, she falls asleep.
Yeah, and then at night it's a chorus of her snoring and then the puppy snoring and then sometimes Hiroshi snores.
Wow.
Who's on the other side. Yeah, if I don't turn the rambler on, all I hear is just like that.
Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. You want to say hi to everybody? Come say hi.
You guys should see the puppies. They're huge.
Say hi.
There's the mama.
There's
Things
Link.
like really.
Hey, baby.
I can't see her.
Yes, you can.
She's in the corner.
See, she's right there. See? There's Link. There's my Ling. She's still sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're still sleepy. Well, this thing we do, watch this.
She's like, no, I'm embarrassed. People are watching. And we have a question from Lindsay.
Hello, Lindsay.
Is there such a thing as soulmates? If
Yes, there is.
If so, will you be soulmates in all lifetimes?
There are different types of soulmates. But yeah, you'll have soulmates throughout all of your lifetimes. You may meet one soulmate in one lifetime and another soulmate in another. That's the thing that people don't understand about soulmates, is that sometimes there is more than one. In fact, most times there is. They're just different types of soulmates. There could be a soul sibling. There could be the type of soulmate that you have in business. There's that soulmate that people are always running around looking for and accusing everybody of being. You know, it's like, you're my soulmate. I know you are. I've had people come to me and insist that someone was their soulmate. And, I said, okay, that's your soulmate. You know, do they know that? No, he doesn't know it, and he doesn't.
The Rock.
He do whatever.
The Rock.
He doesn't understand
he doesn't
that
understand.
I'm his soulmate.
Exactly.
But
I'm his soulmate.
Whatever.
He doesn't know.
No, I'm being serious. There's other people that have come and asked me that. Yeah, I don't know how you can be serious about such a thing.
I'm serious. Look at my face.
Whatever.
The Rock is my soulmate. Told everybody there in TV land. Mine.
Except for the rock, of course, because I know exactly what she would do if the rock came around. She'd just sit there going, kind of like she did when Yo-Yo Ma came
I'd be like,
to play in
I would be like this.
Portland.
I'd be like totally like.
She wanted,
Sorry, I'd be like.
she wanted to talk so bad to Yo-Yo Ma that she got up and asked the dumbest
Oh
question.
my god, that was so
ever.
stupid. I was young and I was.
How do you get so good at it? He says,
That I'm not even. That wasn't even the question, but I'm not gonna. Can we live that one down? Let's keep talking about the rock and his beautifulness.
whatever. You got this little girl called him Winky Peanut because of his head.
Yes, want scenario says in capitals. Want to touch? Ha ha ha. Yes, exactly. I'd be like.
And then he'll say something dorky.
I'd get so
How you doing,
excited.
Cuzzy?
I'd get so excited. I'd give him a hug, and then I would. No, there's no letting go. There's no letting.
Not your soulmate.
I would be like, let's go. We're going to Hawaii right now.
You're not going to get a boyfriend. You're going to work for Jesus.
What? First off, did you not hear me
You're
say
going to be a nun.
my
Look,
husband?
you're working for Jesus. You see this right here? You're working for this.
What? How did we go with the Rock marrying me to? Excuse me, Dwayne
The Rock's
Johnson.
not going to marry you. You're working for Jesus. You're going to be a nun.
No.
I'm taking you to a monastery.
I'm already in a monastery. It's called Unicorn Cove.
Whatever. There's only 5 or 6 buried in the back.
What?
Nothing.
What are you talking about? 5 or 6 what?
Bears in the back.
Beers in the back. That's not what you said. I want to rewind it and see what you said.
Bears in the back.
The Rock can pay the dowry. You agreed
Fine.
to this.
$40 million.
And a horse and
And a
20
horse.
acres of land. I haven't forgotten. He can pay this dowry.
That's fine. 40 million.
Mm-hmm.
Not 19, not 20, not 29, 40.
40.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, what did you got there?
That's all I have for now.
So, what do you call an acid with a really bad
Stop!
attitude?
No! I'm leaving the room.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm leaving. That's terrible. No. Lindsay says, thank you.
You're so very welcome.
Kuanta says, question. If you're drawn to certain song or message within said song, what does that mean? The
That
song
means that it resonates with you and probably has a message for you.
The song is the pale from the group Within Temptation. We don't know the song.
Don't know the song, but it could hold a message for you
Yeah,
specifically.
I had that.
Listen to the words and see what you can get out of it. And then again, it could be an energetic message, which means that the sound of it is what you need to receive. Hey, what else have we got? Oh gosh, she's gonna start snoring again.
No, she's sitting. She's sitting. That's all I have.
Okay, this is fun so far. Okay, so what movies have you all seen? We watched. What's that movie that we watched? I can never remember the names. But anyway, I want to see Magnificent Seven. At some point in time, I'm gonna take a look at Sausage Party. It just looks absurd. It's so funny.
Clearly, I just thought of the best job.
What?
I'll tell you later.
See? She tells me all the time, I'm a grown woman. Yeah, right. You'll tell one of your corny jokes.
Snar's fault. So Snar's fault.
Why is Snar's fault?
Introducing me to that job
What?
position.
Whatever.
I pinch.
Whatever. What, nipple twerk?
I pinch.
For J-Lo?
Ew, not the rock. I'm sorry. I have to laugh because I woke up to a nightmare. I made myself cry. Anyways, continue on.
Anyways. Let's see, what was the doggone movie that I was, and it wasn't, oh yeah,
So what
yeah,
we
you
watched?
saw Independence Day.
2.
Independence Day 2, and it was,
Chinese men all got killed.
oh yeah,
And then
like in
followed
the
by
first,
more.
the one black woman in the whole film.
Vivica Fox
Killed.
dies. Who kills Vivica Fox? Who
Even
does that?
she didn't even die in Sharknado.
Seriously.
You know?
What else?
And
all of
everybody got the girl except for the black guy.
Yeah.
He was all alone. He lost his mom. His dad died.
Hemsworth person got his girlfriend. His
Yeah.
derpy friend got Asian girl friend. Black dude got nothing. Nothing.
Nothing. Even
Not
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum got.
And
That
Jeff Goldblum's dad got a new family, but he was all alone. I'm kind of getting. I'm getting tired of that. Well, I've been tired of it. You know, it's getting. You guys have got to be tired of it too. You know, let's see. There's several films that I'm looking forward to seeing, and I know they're going to screw it up like X-Men because they put that Olivia Munn in it.
Well, it can't be any more worse than Independence Day. That
Yeah,
was
it can.
blatant.
Yeah, it can. Olivia Munn is like
Oh.
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
We have a question from guest 147. What information can I find on the Tiki? Which Tiki?
Which Tiki? There are hundreds of them.
Polynesian culture.
Yeah.
I can answer
Just
this question.
look at-
I can answer this question. Tikis are symbols of different Polynesian idols. There are a bunch of Polynesian idols. If you look specifically in the, let's see, there's the Hawaiian tikis that are the 4 general tikis that they sell everywhere. And then there's the tikis from the Marquesian Islands, and then there's the tikis in Maori, there's tikis. There's all over South Pacific Islands.
Thousands of tikis. See, tiki isn't one thing. Tiki is a type.
It's just the
Okay.
Yeah.
What types of tiki are you looking
a statue.
for? It's a statue. It's a
Statue of
representation, like an
Polynesian
avatar.
gods. Yep.
So just look it up. You know, get on some of the Polynesian sites, and you'll be able to find what you're looking for. Hopefully,
I answered it.
kind of answered it.
No, I was trying to not dork out and go
You
really
can't
into
help
depth. I can't because I know a lot about that stuff.
Because you're a dork. Okay, so
That's all
what
I
else
got.
have we got?
That's all I
Okay,
got.
all right. You guys have asked some pretty decent questions this evening. You should tell your friends about it because I do teach classes. And as I said, these classes, I will teach you things that you need to know for psychic self-defense. I will teach you things that you need to know in order to use your gifts that you have wisely and to help transform your energy in such a way that you'll be able to use the equipment that you have on the inside of you. So if you'd like to take classes, you can always contact us at www.unicorn-code.com or give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. You can also contact us at www.asktheunicorn.com.
Guest 147 says, an acquaintance of mine said she found it in a spiritual store. I was giving a reading and she pulled it up.
Okay. all the same, you have to find out what type of tiki that it is.
Which one? There's so many.
Yeah. It's not just one. To say this is a tiki would be correct, but to say that this is the tiki is incorrect. So you have to find out what it's doing. You know what its stance is. So I hope that helps. Do you get anything else yet?
Yes.
What?
Lindsay asks, do you mind if I ask another question? Okay.
Nope.
If not, here goes. She says, when I was a child, I spent the night at a relative's. I was asleep and awoke to see an image of an old woman in a rocking chair in colonial-style clothes.
Okay.
There's a small boy next to her. They were glowing green, but in a smaller size. I closed my eyes, and they went away. Then my uncle woke up with a bloody nose. They lived next to an old cemetery. I think there's more to this, but it got cut off. No one, and I don't know.
So you saw this entity, and then it disappeared. Your uncle woke up with a bloody nose.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's still typing more. He asks. Let's see this question. And guest 147 says, I just know he had his hand on his belly.
Okay, a lot of them do.
That's yeah.
Oh, you might look at his markings. Sometimes
Sounds like
it might be a moai, like a small moai.
no, it's a Hawaiian one. It's
Well, how do you know?
well, no,
There's different types of tiki.
yeah, I don't know. The
It's like-
Marquesian ones also have their hands on their bellies too.
Well, yeah. So do the Maori ones.
Mhm.
They're not called tiki, so they're called moai.
Yeah, you'd have to send us a picture, otherwise we wouldn't. There's no way to tell.
If you have a picture of it, you can always send it. I'll take a look at it.
Oh, Lindsay says yes. No one believed me. Said when she, yes, that her uncle woke up with a bloody nose after she saw the woman in the rocking chair with the colonial style clothes and a small boy next to her, glowing green.
That happens a lot of times because people don't really want to believe. They don't really want to face the fact that there is something actually there. So don't be discouraged. You keep going. You keep developing. You keep seeing. And maybe at some point in time, you'll be able to talk to these entities to find out why they're there.
Yes, 147 says, when you see a purple orb / shadow, what could that be?
It could be either an energy impression or it could be a spirit or a ghost. Like I said, I have to actually see what you saw. And so if you have any kind of a picture, any type of illustration or something to let me know what it was that you saw, because it sounds like you really, did see something. I just want to really verify what it is that you saw. But if you like training in how to identify those things, I do teach classes.
Guest 147 says, I will get a picture and send it in.
Awesome.
Then we can figure it out.
And then I could see it. Okay, what else have you got?
That's all I have for now. It is 8:25.
Okay, I have enough time for a couple more questions.
Look at that.
No.
I seen it at the corner of my eyes. The guest 147 says they saw the purple orb / shadow out of the corner of their eyes.
That happens a lot. Your peripheral vision can usually catch a lot of things. The whole idea is to make your peripheral vision as strong as your frontal vision, your direct vision. And then you'll be able to see even more.
Lindsay says, thank you, bright blessings.
You are so very welcome, Lindsay. It is always a pleasure. Anything else?
No.
All right, then. I'll go ahead and end the show. I'd like to thank you all for joining us on Ask the Unicorn on this wonderful day. As I said earlier, try to, get all your anger and your frustration out and then just let it go, okay? Many of us are disappointed in the results, but that's okay. There are people who are not disappointed in the results. I can't imagine why.
We have one more question.
Okay, what do you got?
Paul asks, any thoughts on winter solstice, spiritual significance, celebrations, etc.? Thanks.
Well, I have lots of thoughts on winter solstice. It's a time to renew yourself, and hopefully you do exactly that. Renew yourself, renew your efforts, renew your thoughts. Reaffirm those things that you've affirmed before. And it's also a good time for you to step out of any mistakes that you've made. To try to just get a fresh start. It's interesting to say, but you have an opportunity. When winter solstice comes, your karma is pretty much frozen, which basically means that it gives you the opportunity to make certain things right. That's my thoughts on winter solstice. It's a very clean time.
Marshall says, thank you for your teaching.
Thank you. And I appreciate you all coming and please tell your friends about the show, because the more people that come, the more questions I get asked, which means the more that I get to teach. I stand in the center of what you all call the Akashic Records. And there's a vast amount of information there that I have privy to. So thank you all for joining us on Ask the Unicorn. I do hope to see you all next week. Until then, stay out of the election madness. It's already done. It's over with. Now we have to find a way to fix ourselves, okay? And let's move on. Let's move upwards. And be kind to one another. And I'll see you all next week on Ask the Unicorn. Night night.
Good night.